25 years of quality programming. Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios here in Kokomlemle at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country including ATL FM in Cape Coast, Radio Max in Takrady and Jubilee FM in Keta. Is on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, DigiBank, Let's Go and Telesol 4G, just a touch. And coming up, Attorney General Gloria Kufu was accused of former Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Johnson Isiama, of supervising transfer of 300 million Ghana cedis to the Universal Merchant Bank without following due process. We'll bring you details on the court as 14 others, including Unibank owner Dr. Kwabena Dufo, stand trial. Also, Kumasi Traditional Council asks President Akufo-Addo to deploy security services to deal with cases of murder in the region following recent killings.
At least they make the citizens see that something is being done about it. But we in Kumasi have seen that nothing is being done about it.
Over 100 pupils, 2 chamber pots. That's the tale of students of a local school in the Accra suburb of Choko who takes turns to use the pots when they have to answer the call of nature.
Look at how overcrowded the school is with their numbers, that they have to run shift on this particular system here. See how they are exposing the school kids to diseases.
We'll get details as management of the school appears before the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. In sports,
and the 20th President's Cup will be in London, but who will be the man at the centre officiating that game? The confirmation is that the English FA will be appointing the man in charge of the game.
And in our Arrival Live campaign today, the dangers of texting while driving.
I think that we need to first and foremost help people to internalize the discipline of knowing that I can stay off my phone whilst I drive.
And as we build up to Joy FM's Love Valentine experience this Friday, the bankers have pitched in with their banking-themed love poems.
Your beauty is the capital of my business.
Your pretty face will make me give you a cash discount. And in return, you can give me a trade discount.
Even during non-banking hours, I will make all your transactions come through. Why?
Do stay with me for details here on the Midday News. I am Emefa Apawu. And we head to the courts now because the former Bank of Ghana Governor Johnson Isiama has been accused by the Attorney General Gloria Kufu of contriving a scheme that saw 300 million Ghana cedis disbursed to the Universal Merchant Bank for the benefit of Unibank without following mandatory statutory conditions. She explains this was done despite the BOG official being well aware of the weak financial state of the defunct Unibank. She also accused Kwabena Dufo, founder of Unibank, and his company, Hoda Holdings, of dishonestly receiving over 600 million Ghana cedis through subsidiaries of Hoda Holdings out of customers' deposits with Unibank. Ms. Akufu today presented the facts of the case, charging Mr. Isiama, Mr. Dufo, and 7 others with charges including falsification of accounts, money laundering, and fraudulent breach of trust, and willfully causing financial loss to the state. Court correspondent Joseph Akable joins us with more. Joseph, first run us through the accused persons and how they are alleged to have committed these crimes.
And so first is Kwabena Dufo, like you mentioned. He is the founder of Unibank. There is also the Hoda Holdings, which is a holding company as the name indicates, and also a key shareholder of the defunct Unibank. There's Kwabena Dufo, number 2. He is the son of Mr. Dufo and also a former chief operating officer of the now defunct financial institution. Other individuals who are on the charge sheet played various roles in the defunct bank, including Ekonyako Dazi Dennis. There's also one Elsie Danswa Chair. There's Jeffrey Amon, Benjamin Ofori, and Kojo Opoku Oko. The crux of the factors presented by the Attorney General to do with how liquidity support from the BOG was used, aside from some amount of 5.7 billion cedis that he said was due. Is an amount that the shareholders owed the bank, that the shareholders failed to pay, and in fact he says that money is still outstanding, for which reason the state has brought the case against these individuals.
And what has been their plea and response of their lawyers to the state's case?
All the accused persons pleaded not guilty to the charges leveled against them. Dr. Dominic Ayene, who represents Kwabena Dufo, spoke a short while ago, represents the founder of Unibank, spoke a short while ago. In his argument before the court, he argues that the Attorney General's office is criminalizing a breach of contract and criminalizing a function that the Bank of Ghana is supposed to perform. And so he says that can a doctor be sanctioned for helping an ailing patient? And his insistence is that the relationship between customers of banks and their shareholders is not that of a trust issue, such that once the trust is breached, it becomes a criminal offense. He says if your money is given to those financial institutions that they are mismanaged, the relationship with them is simply a breach of contract, and so that should be the position and not the case that the Attorney General has filed. And so he maintains that this is a matter that he's urging the court to note that the facts are simply misconceived and the court should proceed to dismiss the case against his client. He also made an application for bail. The other defense lawyers are also making similar applications for bail, after which the Attorney General's office will be responding to these applications. And
finally, were they all in court?
A number of people have come here, mostly persons who are close relations of the accused persons. It's quite a packed courtroom. To start that, stepping out and coming back in and finding a spot is quite difficult. And the lawyers too, a number of them, because this case involves 9 accused persons, and so a lot of lawyers are also involved in the case, and they are each waiting their turn to make their voices heard in the courtroom.
And that's my colleague, court correspondent Joseph Akablay. Now, the Bantamahene Bafo Owusu Amonkwetia IV has asked the government to tackle the poor security situation in the Ashanti region. This follows the killing of a community nurse at Syria in the Busumchi district. She's the second to be murdered this year. Not less than 5 women were killed last year. All the deaths recorded remain unresolved. Bafo Amonkwetia, speaking on behalf of Asantehene at the town hall meeting, said government must step up security in the region.
We in Kumasi have had problems, serious problems that are associated with environmental and security. And I'm taking this opportunity to bring it to attention for proper action to be taken. We are all witnesses to the fact that for 3 months now, we've heard some murders have been going on in Kumasi mysteriously. And so far as we are concerned, the police who are responsible for our security haven't talked about it. Now we know that in the Western democracies, what usually happens is that when these things happen, the police, they come out to solicit for help. At least they make the citizens see that something is being done about it. But we in Kumasi have seen that nothing is being done about it.
That's the Bantamahene Bafo Owusu Amonkwetia IV. Of course, the regional minister has been speaking to these issues about the murders in the area. But the second day of the town hall meeting is underway. We'll get back to the Ashanti region shortly. But first, let's quickly head to Parliament because the Majority Leader, Osechi Mensah-Bonsu, says he's unable to locate National Security Minister Albert Kandapa, who was expected to respond to questions on the floor. The minister was expected to respond to questions on plans to introduce a national security policy. But the Majority Leader says he's been looking all over for him to no avail. Let's head on to the phone lines and speak to correspondent Joseph Opoku Gakpo. Has he found him now?
Yes, he showed up on the floor of Parliament about 5 minutes ago. The Majority Leader's explanation earlier was that he'd been looking around in order to get hold of him to communicate the information of the question to him, but he hadn't been able to locate him. Those were the words of the Majority Leader. And so he'd asked that instead of him being asked any questions, the question time for him, they should move on to another minister, in this case the Chieftaincy Minister. A few minutes after that, the National Security Minister, Albert Kandapa, showed up on the floor, and just a while ago, James Agalda, who is the minority spokesperson on defense and security, asked the question which the National Security Minister is responding to.
Before we hear the response of the National Security Minister, listen to what transpired earlier.
The Minister for National Security, I've been scampering all over looking for him. I'm not getting him. So we can begin with question number 658. The Minister for
question starts 658. If the Honorable Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs will please take the seat.
So that's what transpired earlier when the majority leader of parliament stated that he could not find the national security minister. We're told that he's on the floor now. So, Gakpo, what reasons did he give for him being missing in action?
Interesting enough, on the floor right now, that question hasn't come up. The speaker rightly indicated that he has spotted him on the floor even after they skipped his question earlier, and said that they are moving on to him and called on James Agada to ask his question. So the question on how come he couldn't turn up earlier hasn't come up for him to respond to yet.
But we're also told that the minority is threatening to boycott. What's the reason, and what reasons have they been given for why they want to boycott?
So this has to do with the State of the Nation address, which is coming on next week, Thursday, the 20th of February. And this morning, there was a caucus meeting by the minority MPs. Another caucus meeting. Among the issues that were discussed, we gather, is that the minority MPs are concerned that when it comes to the MP share of the common fund, which they've been using for some development projects in their various constituencies, this money hasn't been released since September last year. And they think that it's a deliberate attempt by the government to sabotage them even as they prepare to go into the 2020 election. So the caucus meeting, according to the MP for Boedi, Samsinahi, has actually resolved that they are giving the executive up until Friday to release their share of the common fund, which has been arrears for the last 5 months. Otherwise, they will not participate in the State of the Nation address by the President next week, Thursday.
A lot happening in Parliament there. Correspondent Joseph Opoku Gakpo will get more subsequently. We head back to the town hall meeting, and we're told that the economist, Professor Godfred Bokpin, is predicting the Ghana cedi could lose ground to major international trading currencies for the rest of the first quarter of the year, despite Vice President Bawumia's positive verdict at yesterday's town hall meeting. The economist and Professor of Finance at the University of Ghana Business School says every election year comes with an associated challenge with the currency. We'll hear from him shortly, but first, here are highlights of a town hall meeting address by Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
The economy was top of the agenda during the town hall meeting government describes as evidence-based. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says government has arrested depreciation of the cedi.
We have arrested the rapid depreciation of the cedi, and we will make no apologies for that. Why does the NDC, in the face of such incontrovertible evidence, why do they keep insisting that they can do a better job of managing the cedi?
He rated the Akufo-Addo government the best for a first term of any administration since 1992.
In the history of the Fourth Republic, Akufo-Addo has the best performance for any first-term government since 1992. The data is there. Under Nana Akufo-Addo, as far as managing the depreciation of the cedi.
On inflation, here is what Dr. Bawumia had to say.
Reducing inflation by 50% between 2016 and 2019 is really a remarkable achievement. The sterling performance of the Bank of Ghana and the leadership of Governor Addison in bringing down inflation is among the reasons why the Bank of Ghana was just last week selected amongst all the central banks in the world as Central Bank of the Year 2019.
Government, of course, touted the free senior high school policy, the national identification card issuance, the one constituency, one ambulance, property addressing system and others as promises achieved during the period. However, the Vice President touched on his government's debt management.
We are reducing the burden of the debt on the budget by reducing the interest payments as a ratio of GDP from 6.9% to 5.7%. That is a major achievement that has taken place. Even though the quantum of the debt has gone up, we are paying less as a percentage of our annual income to service that debt.
Dr. Bawumia said the financial sector cleanup was needed to protect depositors' funds. The session, however, was not without some political taunts and jabs at the opposition NDC.
But notwithstanding that they are the worst performers, they still want to challenge the best performance. Wakochurowanya 40%. Makochuromanya 80%. Usi unimsa cheme. When who waved that?
We can now listen to Professor Godfred Bokpin, who admits the cedi has performed creditably in the last 3 years. He, however, says the currency could depreciate further, and here is why.
Given what the Vice President said, you can't take it away from him. When you look at the performance of the city from under the Fourth Republic, 1992, 93, thereabout, and you look at it within perhaps every regime that we have had, certainly you would see that the last 3 years, relatively, has been quite okay to some extent. But of course, we have seen depreciation, and that is consistent with the theory he talked about. You are looking at the relative strength of your economy, and then the strength of the other economies that the city is interacting with. Okay, all of that shaped to what happened in terms of the depreciation and all of that. It's an election year, and you do know the political side to everything we do. In an election year, the city depreciates. You lose ground the first quarter. It's going to be difficult to fight it. And the depreciation of the city is an election campaign issue. We run down our own economy ourselves. We talk down the city with negative news here and there. Yes, we pay for it.
You heard Professor Godfred Bokwing there speaking on the Super Morning Show earlier today on yesterday's address by the Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia at the Town Hall meeting. It's day 2 today and it's taking the form of a policy fair. Nanaya Ojima is there for us. Nanaya, bring us up to speed on the highlights of today's fair. So today's fair is mainly to introduce the people to the projects that have gone on the ground. That is, most of the MMDAs in the Ashanti region are here presenting various activities that have gone on in their respective districts. All MMDAs are here. We have other ministries also here, and Ministry of Finance is here, the Ministry of Roads, and the Ministry of Railways, and all the ministries, and the Office of the Senior Minister is also here, and a lot of students from the KNUSA actually are coming through to get first-hand information of what's happening on the ground. And these students have diverse opinions on the presentations that's going on, especially in the finance section. That's my colleague Nanaya Ojima reporting from the policy fair currently underway in Kumasi. Yes, so keep your eyes on the road. Mr. Driver, take your time. Keep your eyes on. It's for Arrive Alive campaign. The sound of that tells you it's time to arrive alive. Do you sometimes find yourself texting while driving? Well, I'm sure you're admitting that you turn your head at every sound of the phone, even while you're driving. That's dangerous. On our Arrive Alive campaign today, we hear from Councillor Amos Kevin Nanan, who shared some reckless driving he had witnessed on Ghana's roads. He spoke on the Super Morning Show.
My family were driving to Tema, and there was this guy carrying a bakery's van, and he was driving so recklessly, he almost actually threw us off the road. So I quickly asked my daughter to take the particulars of the vehicle and the brand of the bread, and I called the company, describing what had happened. Thankfully, they took action. The guy was sanctioned. They sanctioned him for 2 weeks. He was still denying. So I said, well, I'm ready to bring my family. We are not conspiring against them. And on the same stretch, one time, people use the shoulders of the road a lot, especially when there's some traffic. And I saw this guy who is a non-Ghanaian. Then I said, oh, would you do this in your country? Then he said to me, but what about your people? So we ourselves are creating models and patterns that others who are non-Ghanaians come in and they fit into it. I've been shocked sometimes driving with Ghanaians in the West, and they are using their phone, and I ask them, are you allowed to? Oh, I had your police in here. And they sidestep what is an orderly behavior. Exactly. So I think that we need to first and foremost help people to internalize the discipline of knowing that I can stay off my phone whilst I drive. Don't drive and intoxicate, like Doreen would say. Now, Join News' Arrive Alive campaign is a project to educate drivers about the consequences of road accidents.
Tell me, will it hurt when your bumper crumbles, your headlights shatter, and your engine block is driven backwards, crushing every single bone in your legs? Will it hurt when your steering wheel squashes your chest and your lungs are punctured by the sharp ends of your own broken ribs? Will it hurt when your head snaps forward and smashes into the dashboard, forcing several tiny shards of fractured skull into your brain? Will it hurt When your child flies through the windshield, bouncing several times on the hard asphalted road and comes to rest in a broken heap just before the somersaulting vehicle lands on their crushed body, will it hurt? When your body is mutilated permanently, when your victims' lives are shattered irreparably, when your family is bereaved tragically, tell me, will it hurt? Road accidents kill thousands of Ghanaians each year, and all these deaths are avoidable. When we act irresponsibly on our roads, we don't just jeopardize our own lives, but those around us and those at home waiting for us. So ask yourself, will you make it home tonight? Because if you don't, trust me, it will hurt. Be a safe driver. Be a responsible passenger. Look out for yourselves and each other. Arrive alive. Arrive Alive is a Joy Road Safety campaign.
Keep your eyes on the road. Some food for thought there. Arrive Alive. And a quick update on the Dompoasi accident which killed 34 people. The surviving driver has been granted a 300,000 Ghana cedi bill with 2 sureties. He's to reappear on the 10th of March. Now, some driving tips for you today. Keep the music level down so you can notice what's happening around you. We're all culprits. It's still the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. Our top stories. Attorney General Gloria Kufu has accused the former Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Johnson Esiama, of supervising transfer of 300 million Ghana cedis to the Universal Merchant Bank without following due process. And still to come, over 100 pupils, 2 chamber pots. That's the tale of students of a local school in the Accra suburb of Choko who takes turns to use the pots when they have to answer the call of nature.
Look at how overcrowded the school is with their numbers, that they have to run shift on this particular system here. See how they are exposing the school kids to diseases.
And as we build up to the Joy FM Valentine Love Experience this Friday, the bankers have pitched in with their banking-themed love poems.
Your beauty is the capital of my business.
Your pretty face will make me give you a cash discount. And in return, you can give me a trade discount.
Even during non-banking hours, I will make all your transactions come through. Why?
UMB was established in 1972 as the premier bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation over the past 45 years. We've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products, and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we're poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
Get ready for a Valentine's Day with a difference. The Love Experience. A night of love songs, good food, great company with you and that special someone. Ask no questions. Have no doubts. Just come and wine and dine with live band sessions from the music goddess Becca and the ever-smooth Kwabna Kwabna. There'll be karaoke sessions, a special love hunt, and the Knowing Me, Knowing You segment. It promises to be lit with loads of giveaways and surprises. And the best part is, you get to have a cozy night stay at the plush Labadi Beach Hotel and wake up to the sunrise with breakfast on the beach. Just give us a call on 0540-106466 for reservations. The rate is a cool 2,000 Ghana cedis for couple with a full package including bed and breakfast, and 700 Ghana cedis for the concert night, which includes food and drink.
To buy your tickets for the Love Experience with Becca and Kwabna Kwabna via Momo, just dial *920*50#. Select the buy ticket option and select option 3 to purchase it.
The Love Experience, the true meaning of love.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. We'll talk more about the Joy Love Experience shortly. Hans and Linda have their ticket already. But what's in sport, Hans?
The Ghana Football Association is flying its biggest domestic fixture to the UK. Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko will face off in London on the 7th of March 2020. The game is to mark Ghana's independence anniversary. Now, as always, one of the key conversations surrounding this fixture is the man at the center of the pitch. The match referee. Now, organizers say that the referee for the game will be appointed by the English FA, which rules out the possibility of having a Ghanaian referee in charge of this game. Now, meanwhile, the Ministry of Youth and Sports is warning tour operators who have introduced non-refundable clauses in their financial packages for the trip. The Ministry is cautioning the general public to be careful by thoroughly reading the entire agreement before making any financial commitment. The Ministry says it will not sit aloof for any Ghanaian to be cheated and is asking the organizers to monitor the actions of these traveling agents. That's your sport.
Thank you very much, Hans Mensah. And you didn't confirm that you have your tickets. You do, right?
I've bought double actually.
Okay, well, that's the Hans Mensah. Yeah, no, I don't. Thank you. And that's Hans Mensah with the latest from the world of sports and getting ready for the Joy Love experience. But first, take a moment to imagine this. Somewhere in Choco, a school has provided only 2 chamber pots for the over 100 pupils to use when they have to answer the call of nature. These black chamber pots are used in turns by the people who also learn in a single room without a fan, a light, or windows. Well, today, management of the Xavier Basic School is expected to appear before the AMA public health officers to submit certificates to prove that the school has been duly registered under the Ghana Education Service. We'll get an update from that meeting, but first, here's Nancy Emefa Apawu report from the Joy Clean Ghana campaign inspection tours.
We heard loud screams of children. We found a wooden structure. The school has been partitioned into 7 classrooms. Here, over 100 students were housed from kindergarten to JHS. A teacher took us on a tour of the school named the Xavier.
Up to JHS. Up to JHS. Yeah. So 2 and 3 is together. So you have 2 and 3 together. And how many in a class? 21. Class what and what?
The noise in the building was deafening, leaving Inspector Asitanga wondering how the teachers and students cope.
Fun, no nothing. Ventilation very difficult. Look at how the place is warm. Is it hot or not?
It is hot.
Huh? And you put this, you pack this cake here.
Look at they have their own fan.
Where is it? So this one. This is their fan. So they are packed here, and this is their blackboard. Look at the lighting here. See how it's very dark. Yeah. Have you seen how it's dark? And they are crowded here. If we take action against you people to close the school until you improve on it and you continue your educational issue here, are we wrong?
When we entered the kindergarten, we found their teacher sweating profusely.
Hello.
The temperature was not conducive for learning.
Hey, look at how you are sweating. Are you not sweating? Why are you sweating?
Shouting, we dancing. So I was jumping with them.
You were jumping with them?
Yes.
But it's not because the place, there is no ventilation.
No, there is ventilation.
Eh.
The team was thrown into a state of shock when we were taken to the washroom. All the over 100 pupils in the school use these 2 chamber pots as a place of convenience.
So the teachers know why?
They've run away.
Because their boss is not there. So, okay. So this, you can imagine, this is the washroom for the school. And look at how overcrowded the school is with their numbers. That they have to run shift on this particular system here. So see how they are exposing the school kids to diseases. Because the private schools, all that are running here, they run the private school at their own interest and to make profit.
At this point, Madam Florence Kuchi had no choice than to issue the school with a notice and 24 hours to appear before the AMA.
We want to know if this school that he is operating is recognized by Ghana Education Service, and then the necessary actions will be taken through. We've seen that the school doesn't have any basic sanitary facility. Everybody does anything anyhow. It is very bad.
You heard the Nancy Emefa Apawu report, and the management of the Xavier Basic School, according to our checks from Madame Florence Kuchi, have still not appeared before them to answer questions or produce their registered certificate under the Ghana Education Service. Now, time is almost up for the Joy FM's Love Experience on Valentine's Day. You have barely 48 hours to grab your ticket before it runs out of stock, because it's running out fast and thick. The king and queen of romantic music, Kwabena and Becca, will serenade you with love music over dinner at the Plush Labadi Beach Hotel. If you've never been to any concert by the duo, then here's just a little of what to expect.
This is the official song for this Valentine. Happiness, mother, will oh, happiness, mother, will yeah, be a no pa, was yes, you me, come. Now, what do you me, Deborah?
And that's just what to expect on Friday, Valentine's Day, and what a love song in there. But meanwhile, if you've been following the Love Poem Challenge on the Super Morning Show, you would know that we've had entries from a number of professions, including the police and politicians. Today, the bank has made their statement.
My love, your beauty is the capital of my business.
Your pretty face will make me give you a cash discount. And in return, you can give me a trade discount.
Even during non-banking hours, I will make all your transactions come through. Why?
Let me make a deposit. 100 million Ghana cedis into your heart. No, me pay no account.
You can cash out later tonight when we meet at the ATM.
My love, if you should misbehave there will be a provision and a possible write-off.
But it would not impact my capital adequacy ratio.
Long live our love.
May our balance sheet be solid, liquid, and resilient.
Some lines there, but Valentine is trending. What are people saying?
Absolutely, Emefa. So, hashtag Valentine breakup line is trending. Also, Valentine's Day is trending. This one from Sander Bruce says, so you prepared tea for me with yesterday's water? I can't continue anymore. It's over. Hashtag Valentine breakup line. And the last one, Abu Sadiq tweets at Dangaro says, why should you call me without calling me to tell me you want to call me?
I should call you to tell you I'll be calling you.
It's over.
Charlie, then it's really over. That's it for the midday news. I am Emefa Apawu. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Please get your Joy Love Experience tickets now, and let's meet at the Labadi Beach Hotel. Dr. Mensa Otabil is up next with Live and Word.